You think people get buried with their piercings?
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it matters. I mean,
But yeah, I mean, just imagine when they dig up all these bodies later, there's going to be all this random jewelry everywhere.
That's a good question. I wonder if people do get buried.
Cock jewelry.
some cock.
Cock rings. Fuck yeah.
Why just this big ring by his cock?
Oh shit.
What's this ladder ribbon looking thing next to his hips? I think would he get buried with my piercings?
Man, like being at the beach, like there was surprisingly a lot of guys with just one nipple piercing.
Yeah, because they didn't want to. After feeling it, they didn't want to.
Like, oh no, I can't do it.
Show them yours. Yeah, I remember doing a girl and we just did one because she couldn't she didn't want to do the other one. I never saw her again. So I don't know if she went somewhere else or she just walking around or took it off.
Seems like it would hurt.
In a good way. In the best way. You never thought of getting piercings?
No.
Other than the cock piercing that you had?
Have you guys ever done a cock piercing?
Danner does them all the time.
I do them all the time. No gloves.
No. He actually pays people to.
But you gotta be hard or is it soft?
You don't have a porno I can look at.
You got a porn I could look at?
Just put porn on the side so you can get hard and shit.
A lot of people like ask for it and they set up stuff and they're all serious, but no one ever actually comes through.
You know, he always
Unfortunately.
he always comes in all happy, like, finally gonna do one today, and then
2 hours early, huh? Yeah, the piercer that was here before me, I asked him like, you do cock piercings? I don't know how it came up, but I was just like, hey, yeah, you pierce cocks? And he was like, yeah, I'll do it. I tell him it's $100 for the piercing and a $500 handling fee. Like that.
What happens if they have foreskin though? Extra fee or
He trims it right there.
trim it right there.
I'm also a moil. I do it with my mouth. Ready. Yeah, you just gotta like get in and stretch it out.
Oh man.
gotta nail it down.
I've done some vagina piercings, like 1 or 2.
Have you?
I had a lady that would always come and she would always have me change it or do this or do that. And I haven't seen her in a while.
Did you get an orgasm like midway?
She didn't do like, can you just
I
play
did.
with it?
You did? Yikes, man.
So you're into conspiracies, right?
Yeah, I really like conspiracies, man. It's my thing. What about you guys?
We talk about them a lot.
You know, I did see that podcast of you guys. It was like the debate one. It's probably my favorite one.
Oh,
You guys were
okay.
talking about evolution or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one's just like, you're saying that we come from fish, no, or something?
Or kind of, yeah, I guess.
From
like,
toads.
Yeah,
Well, like the evolution process, you get me?
yeah, like
And you were going against him, right?
Yeah, going against them.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty interesting one.
Yeah, the thing that messes with me is like, you know, we both did research and then we both were using the same debates, but they just switched them around so they seem to work for both sides. And like, it's, I don't know. I mean, if you're getting the information, if you're getting the information from online or something that you can't test yourself, I mean, you're still at the mercy of believing what somebody else is saying. Or,
Yeah.
And, you know, everything sounded legit on his end. And I think I remember one of the things was like, they say they never find skeletons of the species that are in between two.
Yeah, right? Like, you'd never see like a half monkey, half human. Like,
Yeah,
where's
exactly.
that?
Yeah, or they don't. Yeah, exactly. But then he was saying that they do, or what'd you say that they do find it? Or
Like Neanderthals or like...
yeah, there is a lot, but yeah, it's like with that, like how you said, like you never find a half. Like, yeah, it's not like a fish gives birth to a half dude, half.
no,
So,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
it's still gonna look like its parents. It's just little by little, tiny changes. And if you look, from one day to the next day, you're not gonna see a half.
But that's what what I was reading would say that, the way the elephant looked 1,000 years ago is the way it looked. Like you don't see it evolving or anything like it. It always has been, I guess.
Or like the human body in general, like the computer, like we're a computer. Like I just think it's too like advanced for it to like evolve from like a fish or like a monkey or like. I just think it's perfect, created by like you said a creator, God.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think, I don't know. I think it's that.
I think all things point to that.
You guys believe in a creator?
I don't.
You don't? Why?
Trickster God.
Trickster, maybe a trickster god.
A trickster?
Maybe. That one, I'm a little
Low-key.
little convinced, low key. I just don't think there's any evidence for it, and I think
You ever read the Bible? No.
not back to back, but I've read a good amount of it. But no, I just think I don't know. To me, it's kind of a cop out. Like we can't explain it, so it must be some spooky creator. And to me, it just seems like giving up.
Well, how can you tell good from bad, good from evil?
I don't believe in morality either.
But like it has to exist. You get me? Like
I don't think it has
like
to.
are you just gonna go and like kill someone because you don't believe in morality or like?
Well, I have morals, and I
I
think
have
my
killed
morals
someone.
come from like I think they evolve, and also from the societies that we live in. Societies have different morals. Like the morals we have in America are different from the morals in.
There's almost like a...
Like you don't see
Islamic-
transgenders in like Islam over there. You get me? Like I know what you mean, but
Yeah, like so the moral. Yeah, exactly. So the morals are different over there than
Yeah,
they
yeah.
are here. So
like almost
how
like some
come-
random civilization, like to them,
Yeah, so-
sacrificing someone is good.
So if they were given to us by Creator, how come we all have different morals, and why do they change over time?
what do you mean change?
Well, yeah, and
Just like how like in
500 years ago, you would-
or whatever,
put-
they would always
Yeah.
sacrifice.
yeah,
Like, it
or
was a
500
big-
years ago we'd put gays to death and stuff, and now we don't believe in stuff like that. So
I mean, I feel like some Satanists still like sacrifice people and stuff. You know, it's a bad. It's a
yeah,
bad
yeah,
act.
there's bad people out there, but just for the most part, I think
I get you, but I
it's
mean, that
it's
doesn't-
definitely evolved, and you even see like I guess like early development of morals in like animals, like chimps will cry when their young die, and elephants have like supposedly funerals for the members of their herd that have died. So I think that's like an early version evolution of morals. So yeah, I don't think I just think they evolve with time, but I don't think there is like an ultimate good or bad out there. I just think your morals evolve based on just like your natural evolution, it's your society,
what you believe.
what you believe. But I don't think there's like a good or bad that you can figure out like you can like 2 + 2 is 4 or something. I just think it's
I get you. I get you.
Yeah, I guess nobody knows.
nobody knows
It
for
can't
sure.
be. Yeah, I mean, when you talk to both sides, like a lot of people always say, "Oh, if God exists, why do people die? Why do people kill each other?" But then it's like, well, that's free will, and I mean,
Yeah, that's-
we all have
yeah.
free will, and I mean, and then on the other side, people always ask, like, what happened before the Big Bang? How did nothing appear out of?
Do you believe in
thin
the Big
air?
Bang?
I do.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's the Big Bang, but I think a creator made it. I don't think it was just random.
Like a random explosion.
Yeah, that just happened.
Like we just came from a rock.
Or I mean, because before that they say it was nothing. It was nothing,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then what is it like? They say two.
Just
Like-
came out of nowhere.
Barbie and Oppenheimer collided.
Yeah.
And it broke the internet.
Broke the
Well, I guess just like because we can measure distances and all this shit, right? So like we see that stuff's like, getting farther from each other, and we can measure the rate at which it's accelerating by. So like just going backwards, we could assume that at some point, if everything is accelerating, and you go back, it was closer and closer and closer, all the way to one point And then that's what we call the Big Bang. Yeah, and so whether we don't know what caused it, well, if there was something before it or really anything, we just know that if stuff's accelerating, then it must, or getting further away, then at some point it must have been closer and closer and closer. And
There had to be a zero.
kind of deduce
Or like something like that.
at the point.
Which,
where-
yeah, I mean, and which I think is what the Bible says, you know.
Yeah.
And I think even the Bible, I think even science, from what I heard, says it all started with like vibration or sound. And then if you go back to the Bible, they say the first thing was His word, which is sound. So I mean, that's kind of like science, kind of proving the Bible, I guess.
Or they're just not completely incompatible, I guess.
So you believe like in space, right? Like exploring space and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So you believe the moon landing was real?
I think the moon landing was real. I think it's very possible that a lot of this stuff was faked and or exaggerated because it was like a political kind of race war thing going on. But
Yeah, during the
I
Cold
do
War?
think humans have been to the moon.
Okay. I'll disagree with that because I don't think we can exit like the Earth. Like I think like we just haven't landed on the moon. Like it was faked 100%. You can tell there's I think we were talking about it before, how like the footprint was there and then the prop. There's
Why
like a
don't-
prop on the rock.
Sorry, why don't you think we could leave the Earth?
Why?
Do you think there's something holding us back, or we're
yeah.
just bound, like we can't?
Yeah, well, it's because like this leads kind of into like the flat Earth theory. So like I think there's a dome that covers the Earth. We just can't exit the dome at all. Like you always see like Elon Musk shooting rockets and like they never get anywhere. So like I don't know. Plus the moon landing just looks hella fake. Like
Then they even showed the president talking to these guys on the landline. I mean, how would he? I mean,
When they're on the moon?
or like the broadcast in general. Like sometimes my internet shit, but like the broadcast was like perfect. You get me? Like I don't know. It just seems like absurd to me. They filmed it in a Hollywood studio.
Now, what do they say? That's Stanley Kubrick, and like blackmailed him to film
The director?
yeah, we looked into it, and like I said, the boot. They said the footprints don't match because the astronauts wear like a cover over their boot, and that's what the
And they show the cover.
Yeah, they show, and it
it's
matches, right?
It matches.
But then there was like the rock that had the prop on it. Remember, it was like a rock that had a C on it, and he couldn't. They can't. Yeah, how do you explain that?
I mean, unless it was just like a mark and just a mark, and we're like, oh, that's a C. Like we're putting
Well, it
our
looked
own
like
human.
I mean, it looked like a.
no, yeah, it did, it for sure.
Also,
Yeah, it
like
could
the
be.
spaceship, dude. Like we can probably build the same spaceship. It was like made of like aluminum, tinfoil. Like, it just seems a little fake.
Yeah, that's
I would
what-
expect like a really well built, super technological like rocket, but
And
it just looks kind of
they,
fake.
the fact that they say they don't have the technology to get back there.
Yeah, that's
like,
one thing that tripped me out. Like, how do you?
and then like they lost. Oh, we lost the notes, or we like all the.
You know, think that could be also like political, like. Oh, we don't know, and so don't send spies because we don't lost it, but we really have it over here.
Or like they're really going.
Like I think there's weird, sketchy shit about it, but I think it's more political than
Okay,
the
so-
fact that we didn't do it, or that we're lying, or
So then, even if it's political, then that means they're lying to you. So then that just means you can't take anything.
Anything serious that
You can't take
that they say
anything.
is
Yeah,
serious.
exactly. Like there's an agenda, and you're going to be told.
You're gonna get indoctrinated, and that's it. Like the school systems, like they're teaching right now is like the heliocentric model, that we're it's a globe, we're going billions of miles in space, but like, why hasn't an alien found us, or why haven't we bumped into like another galaxy, or why hasn't something happened? Like nothing's happened. These constellations in the sky are still the same ones we saw thousands of years. Like, I don't know. It just seems kind of like asinine to me.
I saw another one today, and it's a guy who's supposedly on the space station, and he's trying to get something, and he's like unscrewing something, and when he unscrews it, the nut falls to the floor.
I should have floated up.
And then he even like he has to pick it up.
I saw one with a mouse in the background running around.
Yeah,
It's
there's
like,
a mouse
where
like
the fuck
on
did that
the,
come from?
on the space station. I'm always sending these to Xander, but I don't know if they're like, I don't know what. It's just somebody making fun of it, so I don't know like if it's
Could have been a meme or something. But.
a meme or is it really NASA's footage or like where's it really coming? I haven't gone into that much research.
Well, like if you look up like NASA in Hebrew means deception, to deceive. So like just with that alone, like it's just like they're just raking in money, like trying to like. Plus they also have the biggest swimming pool, like ever. So like they have to test it in the water. So if it works in the water, it's gonna work in space. Cause like it have to be sealed, right? The suits have to be sealed or whatever. So definitely practice underwater. So.
Yeah, you've seen that where they say everything's filmed underwater and it
Yeah,
just looks
yeah.
like space.
Green screens everywhere and shit.
There's one where you even see like bubbles.
Yeah. You see the bubbles going.
You seen those?
No. I want to.
Yeah, they're in outer space and you see like bubbles. So like, oh, they're underwater.
You don't see a fish.
You do. They call it a UAP.
And when it's underwater, so it's an AUP.
It's not a fish turning into a human in the back.
Oh, it's evolving. Evolution.
Yeah, they say like in one of the moon footages, you see Bigfoot in the back.
He's chilling in the back. Yeah, man, but I don't know. I think that the ISS station, like I don't think it's outside in space. Like it's on like a low Earth orbit, and NASA's the biggest helium consumer. So I think they're suspended on helium balloons.
So you think they're just like floating above?
Yeah, I
like
just
that?
think they're floating above and like they can't pass the firmament.
And I seen somewhere you can tell they have like wire, and somebody will even grab the wire to like control them. Like
Yeah.
like they're spinning, but you can tell like where they're attached. I mean,
Just seems absurd to me. But you're probably wondering like why? Why would they do all this? Now I believe it's to stray us from God. Like not to sound like super religious, but just to stray us from God. Because without God, there's no order in humans. That's my theory.
like if you're in outer space and you can see the Earth, like take a picture of, like zoom in and show a boat being upside down or an airplane
you're
flying
right,
upside down. Like,
Also, like the higher you go in elevation, the horizon just always sets to your eyes. Always, like you never see the curvature or anything.
Why would the boat be upside down?
because it's like on the bottom of the Earth.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, I guess you could just get a picture. Like, there you go.
Yeah. Like all the pictures of the Earth, like on Google.
Yeah, because everyone knows Australians walk around like that.
Well,
Upside down.
technically, you do, right? I mean, that's what people say. Like on Earth, right? There should be a guy upside down and a guy, right, if it's round.
Their shit should go up.
Yeah, but like all the pictures of Earth on Google, shit looks CGI as hell.
Yeah, I was even asking Xander a couple episodes ago, like, oh, does Russia have their own space force or whatever? And then I started looking up their pictures of Earth, and they look different than the United States.
Yeah, right. Completely different.
Yeah, it's a different
It's
agency.
a different
like,
artist.
that's how come the picture I took of Disney World isn't the same exact one that Noah took? Like,
But why are you saying it looks different? Just like
Because they're CGI'd. Like I'm saying, if I go take a picture of a mountain on the star and I'll take one, yeah, we'll be different angles, but it's the same
Yeah,
mountain.
it's the same thing.
and you're saying this one
The Russian Earth had like, it was just a different picture. Like it looked,
but like what, like the continents weren't lining up?
it had a
or-
lot of green.
could be a false color image.
Hey, you
It's
don't
easier
think-
to
Well, yeah,
produce
that's what I'm
a
saying.
false color.
They're all false.
Yeah, they're all pretty much fake. Like I don't think there's a real picture of like the Earth.
I mean, what's a real picture? Like, if I take a picture of everyone right now, that's my camera making up the image and taking the light and creating its own thing. It's not your eyes. So like,
And it won't be the same
it's just
color
diff-
you see.
Or like, it's like, oh, this is the picture of Abraham Lincoln. It looks
Unedited.
fake.
An unedited photo of the Earth.
I
Yeah.
think it would just be hard to do it just because it's the Earth. It's not. You know, how would you just like they can go out there and take their iPhone? I think, and then also like, we're used to being at this level on Earth. So when people say, "Oh, the pictures of space look fake," well, what are they supposed to look like? Like, well, how would you? We've never seen that before. We're not used to ever seeing that. How would you be like, "Oh, okay, that one's real, but that one's fake, but that one looks real"? Like, how would you?
Differentiate them.
I feel like we're
Yeah.
putting like a like a human bias towards things that humans were never exposed
I mean,
to.
but like with what you're saying, like you're believing the moon is real. Like you're believing like the moon landing was fake. I mean, real. Sorry. So like just with that bias alone, like you can't really like trust it. You get me?
Like for me, I think, like if you saw what UFOs looked like in the 70s, 60s, 50s, they looked the way the cars looked, and they looked the way everything looked like. And then as everything evolves, now you look at a movie that has UFOs and they're like crazy, like
Yeah.
like everything's grown. And then you look at dinosaurs from like the 70s, and they're just brown. And now you look at Jurassic Park and they're all like blue with stripes. And I think the same thing goes for like Earth and planets. At one point they're just so bland looking, and as artists progress and as everything else progresses, you see these pictures of the planets, and they're like, oh, these gases are this colorful, and everything just looks like
Yeah.
it's not the same picture as like, why does, I get a dinosaur's change because we don't have a real one, so an artist gives you their interpretation.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
if it's a picture of the planet, I get there's better cameras, but it would still be the same. Like I don't know, they just look like they get CGI'd with the times that they're, like they look more advanced.
Like there's definitely things they do to these photos to enhance them. But yeah, I just think it's just to make it look better, and maybe to give you more information about it. like a lot of the like a lot of the pictures of like the galaxies or quasars or nebulas or whatever. Yeah, they're false colored because a lot of that light like humans can't see. Like it'll be like ultraviolet and beyond, or infrared and lower.
Yeah, false. Yeah, that's what I'm
And so
thinking.
they'll put in color so we could see like, oh, okay, like here's something going on, and here's something else going on, here's this, and because yeah, those lights, the frequencies of light are still there. Yeah, we just can't pick it up. So like, what is an image of a black sky where you can't even see it? How is that gonna help us understand anything? So yeah, so I could see where they enhance it for various reasons, whether to make it prettier or to make it more informative. Or...
I mean, I feel like they do that though to back up their heliocentric model. Like make it look more realistic. Let's fool people by making it look sick. Like this nebula and like, but nah. Like it just seems absurd. Like just pretty fake.
Like a movie or something.
Yeah. Do you think the sun is like the size they say it is?
Yeah, you can measure it.
You can measure it. I feel like it looks the same
I've
size
measured
as the
it.
moon.
It looks like it.
How did you measure it?
So long. I mean, I'd have to bring up like my notes. It's there's equations you could use to do
But,
it.
like,
You
just
could
like
use
what was like the main.
you could use like shadows.
shadows.
You could use in like the change of the shadows and the angles that they change over time.
But that's just like the position of the sun over the earth, you get me? Like you're just proving that shadows work, but like you're not proving that the sun is big or not, you get me?
Well, you can start off small and you slowly build up the model.
So you're saying almost like you use like a little light bulb and you use a little stick
That's
or
how
whatever.
they started doing it. Yeah, there's
then you
there's more
kinda
advanced
just-
ways to do it too. Yeah, to me, I just think like all the laws, all the math that we use to prove how far the sun is, how big it is, how far these other things are, how whatever, is the same stuff that works here, and this works pretty good. So like,
The combat doesn't work pretty good.
Fuck you.
that's a good question. Ah, you got me there.
No one really.
That's a good.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I just think it's weird for me to believe. It's weird for me to see people that use computers, use phones, use all this technology, but then they don't believe like the world is round or stuff like that. And it's like you could just use the same exact formulas and stuff to prove all that stuff.
I think it's different. Like I do believe we've mastered, or we're mastering stuff on Earth.
What's
Like
it?
obviously cars and computers, and there's proof we can use it. Like I can call you and we know it works.
Yeah.
But there's other stuff, just like the Bible and Creator, you don't believe in. And I think in both instances, you've just got to take somebody's. It's just what you believe in, and that's what you put your beliefs in. I'm not saying science isn't true, but I mean, most people
Science is
have
a
not-
religion, kind of.
Yeah, it's like-
you're giving it faith.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
trusting these theories.
I don't think you have to give it faith. Like, I heard an argument with Ricky Gervais where, let's say right now we just burned all the holy books, all the religious, but everything, spirituality, whatever, and then we burned all the science books. In 100 years, those religious
Man, but-
books aren't going to come back the same. But all
How
the
do you
math,
know? How do you know? That's what I'm saying. Like,
they're not.
how do you know? That's what I'm saying.
But all the math, okay, well, maybe they will, whatever. But the math, science books,
Like you could still prove it.
you could prove it and they'll come back exactly the same as they were every time. Like, we could sit here and like work out the math problems in textbooks and like prove that they're real. Like, you don't, so that's not faith to me. That's not a religion. That's just observing the world and using the tools that we have to the best of our knowledge and use to kind of prove things about the world. Not prove, but to show, give evidence about things about the world. I mean, like, math you could prove and stuff, but it'll all be the same. Like, I'm not gonna wake up tomorrow and 2 + 2 is not gonna be 4. It's always gonna be 4.
No, yeah, exactly. For simple math, but certain things, I don't know.
See, maybe the religious stuff would come back. Yeah, I don't know, but for sure, all the other stuff would come back, and we could prove it.
What do you think came first? People believing in a creator, or people with the ability to do science and really start figuring things out, as opposed to just their
What do you mean
surroundings?
science?
Man, that's a good.
Yeah, like start questioning the stars and start questioning the sun and trying to figure out what it was. I mean, because there's one thing to be like living off the land and like I know how to hunt, I know how to drink water, like that's affecting you, you know. Whereas, I mean, the sun, you know, it's hot, you know, it goes up and down, but you're not trying to measure it. Like that's what I'm saying. Like what came first?
Do you think like of a call it caveman, right? Figured out how to use tools to hunt better. Does that count as science? Or
Yeah, for sure, that's technology. But that's his technology. That's his
Yeah.
what he needs to survive. I'm saying
Yeah,
you
yeah.
really don't need to know the distance of the sun, or you don't need to know where we're spinning, or you know, like that. That's just man thinking. But that's what I'm saying. What do you guys think came first? That science, or somebody believing there was a creator, like out of
I
his
think
head?
religion came first, for sure.
I don't know. Like I could see it almost like well, I mean, I guess I don't know. Like almost like how a farmer would kind of tell that the sun is like giving his crops like what it needs
No,
to
yes,
grow.
yeah, but is he measuring it? Like, oh, I wonder how far, or I wonder how big that is, or how far it is. Of course, he knows he needs it for his crops, and he needs rain. But that's what I'm saying. Like,
you don't think that counts? Like, that's like the very beginnings of starting to question and starting to understand the way the world works.
yeah, the world that you use. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. As a farmer, you have to figure out the seasons, but you don't have to figure out. Like, if you're a farmer and you don't know how far the sun is, that does not affect.
Yeah,
your
but that's like
crops.
later on. You don't
Yeah,
think...
but that's what I'm saying. What comes first? Somebody being curious about that?
Well, I mean, I could see that being almost like they think this, like just like a random ass caveman that doesn't know anything. Like I could see it thinking like the sun maybe is like a god of some sort that gives it what it needs, or
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. And then, like, oh, that thing's giving me life and it's greater.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if that's like questioning science or questioning a creator. Like,
Like
no.
you're saying, if you destroyed all the books, what would people be believing in first? A god, or trying to figure out science?
I think they
like
would...
science that doesn't have anything to do with your day-to-day life. Like what?
Well, it would
affects-
start... It has to start off with
Yeah, like
day-to-day life
like I
stuff.
could see someone just eating grapes and that's their day-to-day life, and then suddenly
Rice.
they create fire, so then now that becomes part of their day-to-day life, and then later they create the phone, which becomes part of their day-to-day life. Like maybe this guy's technology isn't the same as this guy like 1,000 years ago, but it doesn't mean that
Like
it's part of.
Like in terms of like science, where it's like the scientific method and they have it how we do it now, I think that was later. But just questioning and like learning about your natural world and using that like to get better, make tools, make fire. All fire makes this hot. I think that came first.
Yes, yeah, of course
and
that
then-
comes first for survival.
And then I think the more people started to understand and do that, It's like as your circle of knowledge grows, and like the diameter, the stuff that's touching the diameter or the circumference, I mean, is the stuff you don't know. Like as you learn more, you also realize that you like
Don't
know
know less. You know less.
Yeah, exactly. So like I think at some point, people started to turn to like, oh, there's like unknowns and they can't explain it. So I think people started to turn to like make up gods and make up
Yeah, like
answers for questions that they don't have the answer to.
just say like they put like a baby out like in the middle of nowhere and it grew up and it started hunting on its own and living on its own and it died. Like you think throughout its whole lifetime without meeting anyone, contacting anyone, it would be like what created me or where am I from? Like maybe it might see like another animal give birth and might think like where's my something that gave birth to me, but I don't think it's like a higher like I don't see it like being like what started all this. Like I think would need to be given that information.
Yeah, they're both deep thoughts, but I'm just saying what I think human would look inside first before they look outside. I would think because we all have access to that. Not all of us have the brain or capacity to start trying to understand and count stars and planets, but we can all have self realization, I guess, or
What do you think about like the architecture of like ancient civilizations?
yeah, we were talking about the other day where because yeah, me and him have both we've heard where people like, oh, with today's technology they can't build pyramids, but I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, go to Las Vegas, they just built a giant sphere with a screen, like that's
Oh
way
yeah, I did see that.
better than a
Pyramid.
pyramid. And then I mean there even is a pyramid as a hotel, but then I guess what I saw is the way they cut the rocks and they fit them together like puzzle pieces. Like we can't do that today.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
So-
I mean,
so-
like, why are all the buildings ugly now? You know what I mean? Like, just basic. Like, have you seen them? Like, just like the Wells Fargo one's kind of basic. Like, has no really like cool design to it.
Yeah, but that's money, and that's you need that building up as soon as possible.
And
Like
maybe
right
it's
away,
just
huh?
something where like you can't have spikes coming out. Maybe it's unstable or something like that. Where this is just quick.
It's also just like what people find aesthetic nowadays. Like, yeah, it's like the buildings during like the brutalist time look way different than, yeah, ancient Egypt or even now. Or
But they're saying that the pyramids will last longer than these buildings because they're made of stone. And
Limestone.
and it'll never, yeah, it's not gonna go anywhere. Where a building throughout time, if it's not upkept, it'll.
yeah, but it does a lot
Collapse.
more. It has elevators, bathrooms, a sex
Oh, no, no.
room. And yeah, and they probably don't build them to last 1,000 years. Whereas these guys, they weren't like, all right, so where does the elevator go? Like, I'm sure they were trying to build it
To last forever.
to last. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like blocks of stone. Like, that's
Keep
not
a
gonna go
mummy in there.
anywhere.
Yeah, but supposedly today people can't
Rebuild them.
rebuild.
That's what I've heard. Like,
But yeah, how does
I don't
that work?
No, that's what I'm saying. That the way the stones are cut and puzzled together, that we can't cut stone that big, move them and build them like a puzzle. The way everything's put together, and it's put together so well. Like there's no, but then maybe it's so heavy that it's
with time, maybe.
with
or-
time it's flattened out too, maybe, or I don't know. Would it?
Yeah, it's hard to say, right? Or even like with the like with the weathering and like maybe dirt gets in there, it kind of fills up the cracks and it kind of hardens and.
Well, no, they don't say, and they say it's limestone. They say it's limestone on limestone, and you can't fit anything in between. But
No, I think limestone is made like that, right? With like it's a sedimentary rock, so it'll like
compact.
compact.
Yeah, I don't know, but I've heard that argument, but I've never.
Yeah, we're watching that video where like you can't stick a credit card in between like the.
Then, yeah, they're even
cracks
saying
of
that
the-
people look at the pyramid, how big it is, but they don't realize what they're standing on. They had to build that base to hold the weight of the pyramid, so that took
Even longer.
even longer. And
Also, the pyramid's supposed to like resemble like Orion's belt, like the constellation. It aligns perfectly. Like, I don't know. I feel like they studied the stars and like they try to leave a mark there. You get me? Like, I don't know what the purpose was, but like I feel like they're perfect. Like the pyramids are just perfectly built.
the fact that all the pyramids around the world who don't really know each other. They all built similar
They all
things,
build pyramids,
and they all face the same
they're all on the same.
direction. And
Like, no matter what, you're gonna pay taxes. But I mean, I'm sure to a certain extent, no matter how much they charge you, I mean, I'm sure someone could.
yeah, I
Not
mean,
really.
you can make enough so that you can live
Freely.
but you're still paying taxes. Like, yeah, you're still
Still paying bills. You're still. It's not really yours.
nothing's yours.
I wouldn't go as far as saying like we're slaves, but no, yeah, like I can't just go out, find some land and just start my own thing. Like
Yeah,
that
no,
belongs
yeah.
to a country and they've claimed it and they're gonna come and make me do this, make me do that. Yeah, they can't just. I'm like, fuck it, I'm off the grid. I'm just gonna go eat fish in the Wisconsin fucking.
Yeah, you're always on
Wilderness.
someone's land or someone's rules.
Yeah, you don't have freedom.
But this is the country of freedom.
Yeah, it's definitely an illusion. And yeah, I think most people are, happy with their weekends off, the 2-week vacation, their Christmas, and then their birth, and then the whole thing every year. You get a raise and you slowly move up.
There's something to keep you bound, or
You pay off your house.
Get married, have kids. Till your life slowly spirals down and then you kill yourself at
Wife leaves
73.
you.
You know?
Pay child support. You're fucked.
do anal.
Right. Always wondering what if I did this different, if I did that different.
I got you porn now.
At least we got that, right? Oh, God.
McDonald's.
At least I could drown my sorrows in greasy hamburgers and fat
McFlurries.
ebony BBWs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it works, but yeah, I would think, you're definitely part of the system. And the system doesn't care about you. I mean,
Not at all.
enough to keep you
Going?
alive, keep you interested, keep you going, keep you distracted, but
The
Yeah, they-
Matrix.
they still
The
want you under their
Matrix, man.
control. Like you were saying earlier, the whole COVID thing was like a good test to see.
Oh, a complying test for sure.
And that's another thing too. If you really do think you're free, I mean, man, that showed us we're not free.
Like everybody was inside their houses. You know.
Couldn't work, and then even just how people turned on people. Remember, people are ratting out other people that, hey, these guys
Having
are
a party over here.
this bar's still open. There's a bar that didn't close, and then you'd go by and you could hear them in there partying, but the windows were blacked out and like.
I'm so curious why people bought a fuckload of toilet paper. Like for what?
Yeah,
Oh man, I'm
Like,
still
you're
trying
gonna
to
shit
sell
yourself?
off on my toilet paper.
Oh, my Germex.
This is silly.
Yeah, it's so weird how people
it was definitely a social experiment.
how
Oh,
people
for
got so
sure.
scared and like
The rich people were like, I'm bored. Let's see what happens. Like see if they comply.
They shook up the can of ants.
a snow globe.
There was still a guy the other day saying that for the Barbie movie, he said, "Oh, this Barbie movie is really big. There's a lot of people going. Don't forget to start putting your masks on again."
Oh. And then when you go to a restaurant, you take your mask off, eat, and then you put it on. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of dumb.
Yeah, it for sure shows how stupid people are
Yeah.
and like how
me,
easy they are to comply.
me and Noah went to go eat at a restaurant, and we walk in, and they're like, "You can't, you need your mask." I'm like, "Well, nobody's wearing their mask." They're like, "Oh, once you sit down, you can take it off." And I'm like, "Oh, can we have a table and sit down?"
Yeah. Now you got people like giving orders, like just because they're entitled to that, or like just kind of funny, like
Oh, it's really funny.
or like the plastic barriers that they made, like that's gonna stop me from getting COVID. Like, come
Does
on.
Mike still have it?
No, he took it off recently.
He had it for a while.
Yeah, for a while.
Man,
Yeah.
even in California, I remember I was in some record store and there was a couple. They were looking at the records, like with their hands. They take off the mask, kiss each other, and then put it back on. After like looking through all those records that I'm sure people are looking through all day. I mean, Like, how stupid is that? Like,
It was
You
just like
think-
media control, you know, like you see it on the phone. Oh shit, people are dying. Like I'm scared now, you know, like. But like you go outside, I didn't see a pandemic anywhere. You get me? Like
man, like one of the things that still trips me out, and I mean, it's like one of those things like in the space station, how supposedly like there was a rat. Like I don't know how, if I can trust that video. I don't know where it's from, how. But I remember when COVID first hit, and when it was in China, there was those videos where people they were there, and then they would just like fall and collapse, and then people would go like pick them up in like hazmat suits.
Yeah, like
and,
the hazmat, like a little
Yeah.
hazmat truck. Like,
You
And I
didn't see
remember
Will
s-
Smith walk in with the.
Yeah, I remember seeing like a bunch of videos where people were just like fainting, and then I don't know, it just turned into like a severe cold. Like, I don't get how it could change or like, and no one brings that up. So I don't know if they were fake videos that I was seeing, but
yeah, those videos before I came here, those were the big videos where it'd be like a subway and then somebody would fall.
and it was
then
always like in China or something where it first
then
started.
there happened to
Right.
be like a group in the hazmat, and
They
they'd
had to go
run
pick
and
them
grab
up like 2 minutes later.
but like why were they in hazmats and then we have to wear little shitty masks? Like what's the difference? You get me?
Or the
Like,
fact that they were just that close with hazmat. Like, who are these? Like, there's just hazmat people driving around, right? Like, they're just.
it's asinine.
Like a Starbucks, every corner there's a hazmat center.
I remember that tripped me out because I remember being like scared, like holy shit, these people are. And then when it came around and people were just getting sick, like
Started wearing 2 pairs of underwear.
yeah, like how does that work?
One around your crotch and one around your face. Right? People were wearing underwear.
Yeah, I went all out. I was wearing like deep diving helmets, like
With the flippers, too.
with the flippers.
The bubble boy.
Just a little like window right here.
Yeah, COVID was random, dude.
I was at the bank today and the lady's still wearing a mask.
Yeah, I saw some lady wearing a mask too today. I'm like, and she had it like below her nose, like I don't know.
You can tell that we're on the UFO thing now. The masks. The masks. was-
That's so 2019. Like,
Now you need your ray gun. Right.
no, I still wear the mask, but it's just so no one recognizes me at the toolbox. So, COVID 1, Xander 1.
I think we were also talking about like how like digital currency, you know, how like we have to comply to this or like we can't use our money, right? You get me? Like once we switch to like digital money, like they're gonna put a chip on us or they're gonna control our money, and like that's kind of like that kind of feels like COVID was like the first part, and like the next part is coming,
What's the next part?
like the digital currency, like.
You're saying like there's gonna be no more cash?
Yeah, like there's gonna be no more cash and like
I was really scared about that until we went to Vegas and I saw everybody with cash.
I don't think
Remember?
cash will ever go away.
Right? People there had cash.
And I think like for all the like underground deals that
Yeah, like,
happens
cash
every
is
like there's no way
flowing.
it's happening.
But I think it's going to be the same as the mask, where people are going to be afraid.
Oh, are you using cash?
Yeah,
Oh,
so I think they can't get rid of it, but they can't get rid of it, but they can definitely influence and make it easier to use less of it.
And yeah, it's starting to like everywhere you go, even like at restaurants now, you can pay with like with. I mean, some restaurants like they'll have like a little iPad and you could pay with like the Apple Pay, like,
all
like that's
fast
so
and
trippy.
shit.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know.
some even say no cash accepted. Oh, we don't
A
accept
bunch of
cash.
places.
Yeah, it's weird. Why would you not accept cash? Like, the
I remember
credit
during
cards
COVID.
charge you, right? Like, to like, why would you not just use cash?
I remember during COVID that started, but yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't go back to it.
Just gonna go back to trading chickens and daughters for services.
How about maybe a business owner realizes his people can't steal from him if there's no cash?
Like they can or they can't.
They can't.
Yeah.
Like if everybody's collecting credit card and it goes to my machine, nobody can steal cash from me.
I could see that.
Yes, yeah, 'cause I never thought of that. That makes sense. But damn, how fucking untrustworthy are your employees that you gotta resort to that, right? Like, damn.
That and convenience. Nobody carries cash, so we don't But yeah, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't accept it. And then I can see not accepting it because, yeah, germs.
Germs.
Like, oh, I don't want germs, right? Because I mean, because that happened with the whole pandemic. Like, oh, we're not taking cash. Like, if it's all full of germs. So I mean, those are the two reasons I can see them.
Right. Oh, the restaurant. We don't accept cash, but here's a fork you could put in your mouth, and we're gonna take it back with all our employees. Yeah, I wonder.
But they don't realize they're shooting themselves in the foot because, you know, they're just easier to track all the money they're making, and they can't hide it from the.
That certain percentage that you pay like goes to the government, so they're like maybe they're just milking it, trying to get more money.
But it's more expensive too, like you're saying. If you want to use credit card,
Yeah, like you don't get the full amount.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
to
don't
pay
get
you, right?
Yeah.
you don't get the full amount. So then now people are like, oh, if you want to pay credit card, I'm going to have to charge you an extra percent. So then it's going to go back to cash, so you don't get paid that extra percent.
Then right, it's gonna go back and forth. And
But we don't accept cash, so it's like, whoa.
Yeah, I've seen that at restaurants where they'll do like, if you're paying cash, it's $12, and credit card it's $13.04 or some shit.
I've seen some where it's like at the vet I go to, they word it where it's like, oh, all right, like instead of being like, oh, if you use a credit card, we're gonna charge you more, they word it like, if you use cash, we give you a 5% discount. It's like,
I've seen-
oh, like
I've
it's
seen
the
that
same
too.
shit. Like they're just charging me extra if I use a card. Like, it's like, no. How about traveler's check? Like,
What, check.
Money order.
money order. eBay gift cards, Steam gift cards.
eBay gift cards.
I'm trying to just go back to chickens, humans, and gold bars.
I saw another one. I don't know if it was real, but it said something that a law, or not a law, it was passed in California that if you're having sex with an underage person, but they're consenting, it's less of a charge.
What?
Right?
I haven't heard
That's
about that, but that's
insane.
insane. Yeah.
That's the whole point of not being able to have sex with minors, is that they can't consent.
Yeah, they're not.
Has Chris Hansen heard of this law?
Skeet Hansen?
But even as far as like that agenda with just,
And like I would hear people like back in the day, like girls would get married and have kids like fucking 15, 16 with like some older dudes,
Well,
and like
even-
no one gives a shit. You get me? But like,
Even like in India, no? Isn't it like 16 or some shit like
yeah,
that?
I wonder
where
like
it's-
what's the deal with that?
Yeah, it depends. Like, back to what we were saying, like I think
The
the morals
morality, yeah.
depend on the society that you're brought up in. Someone here is gonna be like, oh, it's disgusting. You married a 14-year-old girl and got her pregnant, but in another country they're like, yeah,
It's
what's
normal.
wrong?
Yeah.
dab you up. Take
Oh,
you.
nice.
Oh, nice.
Nice, man. She was how old?
14 in 2 months? Fuck yeah. Yeah, that's insane. And then I feel like that even incentivizes like predators to like brainwash them and get them more like
Groom them.
right?
oh no, she likes me. I'll be all right. Just bring her an extra happy meal.
I don't know, is that like signs of end of days, you think? If you believe in that?
What?
What's a sign of end of days?
Just the way everything's going and just the way.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't want to talk bad about like transgender, but I feel like that's like leaning into like end of times, you know? Because it's just like, I don't know, like that whole thing is kind of like,
It's really weird.
it's kind of weird, you know? Like, no disrespect, but
No, that's
but
the
like
thing.
it's like their own reality.
That's the thing. It's like nobody was ever really offended by it. But then now they're making it so that they want to offend you so they can get you to react. And then they can be
Yeah.
like, when there was never a problem with it. There's never been a problem with it. But then now it's like,
I think the problem that's starting to rise is with kids.
Well, it's because like they're shoving it down our throats, you know, like TikTok kids see it and then, oh, I think I'm a girl now, you know. I don't think you're a girl, but you know.
yeah, they're introducing it and they're.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where like I feel like it's so weird and it shouldn't be happening, but it's just like I feel like it's one of those things that's out of my control. Just like the iPhone, maybe like 20 years ago, like seeing kids being hooked on the iPads, like hey, like this is weird. Like, this shouldn't be a thing. Like, parents shutting up their kids with iPads. But now this is just like another. I know it's like more extreme, like changing a gender, but it's almost just another technology that's coming. New idea, but yeah, I don't know. It's
Yeah, and kids are being maybe manipulated into it, right? Maybe.
With the TV shows, with cartoons, shit like that. Well, mainly because these transgender people can't reproduce, so they need our kids. You get me? So they're like, we need to make our community bigger. So how do we do that? We influence kids. I feel like that's a problem because I feel like you should at least be 18 to make like your decision. You know?
Yeah, if I can't fuck you, you shouldn't be able to change your gender. That's
Yeah,
a
if you can't
big-
get tattooed, right?
Yeah, like that changing your gender is so much more life changing than
Yeah,
getting a
yeah.
tattoo.
And like
or-
most people who regret it end up suicidal and shit. You know, like
Yeah, I've read that supposedly that the suicide rate from before and after doesn't really change, and sometimes it's higher, and there's a lot of regret. I mean, I really don't know. To me,
Yeah.
I don't care like at all. Like I don't give a shit. Transgender all you want. Like
Yeah,
I
same
think it's
here.
weird. Like I think people that play badminton is weird too. But like I don't give a shit. But what I think the problem I have with it is when people bring it into sports, and so now like a male to
Or
female.
restrooms,
yeah, restrooms.
I guess restrooms, yeah.
prisons.
Prisons, yeah, like yeah, anything like that where like there's a reason why we're separating the sexes, and then someone could just change and say they're a female and now they're the deadlift world champion by like 400 pounds or something ridiculous. Like that's not cool.
yeah, just like
I don't like
absurd. Like, it's not even like.
You
Like,
can
what the
tell that
fuck's
guy's a
going on?
fucking dude. You know. Like,
And the fact that you can't have that opinion's even weird too, right? Everybody thinks it, but nobody can say it.
yeah,
because
no one
then-
can say it.
You're a bigot.
I mean, I guess you can say it. I mean, I think everybody would support you. But then I don't know what happened to Bud Light. Supposedly people are not buying Bud Light anymore.
Oh, because of the gay thing, no, or the transgender thing on the can.
Yeah,
You
that
were
was
like,
crazy.
what?
Like, their sales dropped like tremendously, like
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I seen if what?
I was just saying, I think that one, like, yeah, I think it was less transgender or more just the specific person they chose. Dylan Mulvaney. Like, that person is fucking psychotic. If you ever see their.
Okay, so it's the person.
I think so. I mean, it
that
probably
what
would
it
have been backlash anyway if it was any trans person, but man, if you look at Dylan Mulvaney's videos, you're like, yeah, this person is clearly insane.
It was so Bud Light teamed up with that guy,
Well, they had like a little thing where.
but that's what it was. Like, everyone kind of
Yeah.
was with that guy.
And then the main like marketing leader or whatever you want to call it of Bud Light was some lady, and she said, "Yeah, we want to like try to like expand our company, and get away from like frat boys and this and that, and expand more." And so like I feel like Bud Light drinkers took it like she was like insulting.
Their fans.
Yeah, like their main consumer
Yeah,
base
yeah,
was
yeah.
being insulted by the company, so they're like, "Well, fuck you!" Like,
Yeah, I didn't really
Yeah, I didn't really get into it either.
get into it. What do you think of the whole UFO thing?
UFO thing.
no,
I.
UAP.
Oh my bad. Correction. I don't believe in aliens, so I think UFOs are like government vehicles, government-built vehicles.
You
Do you believe in aliens? You look like you believe in aliens.
I believe in aliens. I don't think they're here. I think there's life out there. I don't
Okay.
think they've been here and they're like in little saucers. I think the majority of the UAPs are either just random natural phenomenon that can be explained easy,
Okay.
or
Government.
other government
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
testing shit.
You believe in ghosts?
Ghosts, well, like spirits. I believe like spirits, energy.
Like, you think that like a soul or energy could be trapped
Yeah,
here?
like a bad energy, you know.
Could you
but-
say almost that's like alien-ish, or you think that's still connected to like humans? Like, it would be like
well,
a
it's-
human soul, human energy.
It could be, but I mean, I haven't encountered like a ghost or anything, but I know people who like get possessed and shit. Like
What
I don't
would
know.
you-
That's trippy.
What
to
would
me.
you guys rather see, a ghost or an alien?
Well, I've seen a ghost.
You seen a ghost?
Damn. At the park?
I saw some, yeah, at the park. Man, like, my cousins and I were talking about, and yeah, all three of us like still remember the exact same thing, and that's what trips me out, that all three of us saw it, and it was definitely not human. I mean, for all we know, it could have been an alien, but yeah, that's why it's kind of.
Did you get anally probed?
Yeah, I think seeing an alien would be cool, but yeah, I don't know. I guess they'd both be kind of.
It's kind kind of like both the same, no? Like a ghost is an alien is a ghost.
Yeah, like how-
you
what's the
can't
definition?
differentiate. Yeah.
I just see a ghost like scaring you, and then an alien
Like
has
Weirding you.
technology, or he's more
It probes you.
he probes you. No, I mean, yeah, I guess he would have.
Yeah, I don't know. Like of an alien, they have.
Like you could shoot the alien, but for the ghost, you would need like an exorcism or something.
yeah.
A silver bullet and a cross or something. Right?
The power of Christ compels you.
Yeah, because like I said, like I don't. Like I believe there's aliens out there, but I don't think they're here. But if I saw one, I think, like, thinking about it, I guess that would be less surprising to me than if I saw like a spirit. Because then that means that there is an afterlife and there is more, and like that would be more like holy shit, like that. Yeah, turn my world upside down.
Okay, so you believe in aliens or other life? You think they're physical like us? Do you think something can be?
Like everything's to these senses or what?
No, or just you think things can
Be non-physical?
be non-physical,
I don't
Energy?
think there's such thing as non-physical.
like an energy.
Energy is
or
non-physical.
Like
Well, energy is physical. Energy and mass are equivalent. And you could, but so I think that maybe like an energy being, maybe I don't know how, but if mass and energy are equivalent, I don't see why that's out of
Electricity,
possibility.
man.
But yeah, it would have to be some kind of physical form. I don't think it could be non-physical. I don't even know what that would mean.
Well,
your
light
soul,
is
bro.
non-physical.
Oh, light's physical. You can measure it. It's
You
made
can't
out of
touch
particles.
it. You can't touch light.
It's touching me right now.
Well,
It's bouncing off me and then going into my eyes.
true.
You can measure it, and it's made out of all particles. I don't know if you want to call them particles per se, but
protons.
photons.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, I mean, maybe, and I don't claim to know, but yeah, I just can't pick. I can't imagine what
Like a
something
thought.
that's non-physical would be.
Like a thought or like an idea. That's non-physical, right?
I don't know. I think it's got to be physical.
An idea is physical.
I think it's got to be. It's
you're-
got to be some kind of like connection or synapse or something going on in my brain, and that's the thought. But no, I know what you mean. Like so there's like the. I think we might have mentioned it before, but there's something called the hard problem of consciousness. And it's one of the biggest problems in like biology and in philosophy. And so it's basically like thoughts, the experience of color, like the experience I'm experiencing right now when I look at that green wall, or
Toad.
my emotions, or the feelings I feel when I look at Toad.
Is it love?
I think they're physical, but they seem to be non-physical, and a lot of people think they're non-physical. And so the hard problem is, how can things that are physical, like our body, create and interact with things that aren't physical? And that's the hard problem of consciousness. And yeah, I think just they are physical. It's just an illusion that they're not physical. But some people, I'm in the minority. Most people would, I think most philosophers would disagree with me and say that they aren't physical, and that there's something that we don't understand about consciousness. But yeah, it's an interesting problem. It's an interesting thing to think about.
Like almost like reading a sad face compared to someone's happy. Like you can feel the. Yeah, just by seeing it. I don't know if that's like even like morality too, like oh yeah, I don't know. That doesn't make sense. But like almost just like if in one world kissing was through the ears or some shit like that, or like a sad face means someone was happy, or
If dog spelled cat. And cat
dog spelled cat.
How about, do you believe we'll ever be able to teleport? Or do you think that's...
I think so.
You think so?
Because we could do it on small scales. We're doing it on big scales. We don't know how to yet, but I think just the fact that we could do it already shows that we could do it. That's how quantum computers work, like with quantum teleportation.
So you teleported, if you were able to teleport a person, what with you're breaking down the molecules or what?
I don't know. Yeah,
That's weird as fuck, yeah.
and if I were to break you down and build you back up, is that still you? And
Yeah, would you be able to transport the person's memories? Like, are memories physically stored in the brain, or are they?
I would think they're just physically stored, but yeah, who knows?
So every
That'd
time
be-
you think something physical happens, and it creates that
You
image,
manifest it.
yeah,
and that image gets stored like through what, like
almost where all your memories are. Right? Isn't there a part in the brain where all the memories are supposedly kept?
no, it's in the balls.
It's in the
and it's
balls.
just
In the
wire.
anus.
It just wires itself. Do you know how it works?
I don't know exactly how. That's what I think. I think it's the connections, the synapses, and the physical things in the brain that are creating and storing these memories and reacting to like when you say stuff and I start thinking like I'm reacting to you and my so I think it's all physical stuff.
Do you believe in like a collective consciousness, like
I would-
like one big source? You get me?
Like if
we've talked
everyone-
many an hour about this.
For real?
Everyone wants a 7. Will the 7 be rolled?
Yeah, I came up when we started gambling, and he believes in the collective consciousness and that if everyone, depending on what their consciousness, I guess, and what they're thinking, it affects the outcome of things in the real world, like in the dice game or something. I guess I don't believe in the collective consciousness.
To you, just coincidence.
Like I do think, yeah, and I do think like your attitude, how you're feeling, your morale. If everyone's like, yeah, that changes. Like that'll change your
Confidence.
your confidence, your
and- yeah.
performance and stuff. But I don't think we could just like will things with.
Like it won't change the dice. Something random.
Yeah, it might change like how you roll, and maybe you just happen to roll better because you feel better. And
But yeah, like a boxer could go in the ring and
yeah,
compete better.
Exactly, I think it's like a different version of something like that. But I don't think we can. How you said like that they changed like that experiment where they were doing the coin flips.
And it said it influenced it.
by 0.2%. Yeah, it's a weird one. I mean, I think humans are like unique, and I think it is possible, but I think it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, like what can you count? Like if you can count this, then you have to count all the times that failed. So it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's just one of those things kind of beyond humans. Can kind of understand
but
it.
like we were saying last time, we're saying that it's something that you can't really measure because it's not science as we know it. But
Or even if it's not physical, maybe.
yeah, it's not physical, and I mean maybe some people do understand it, and maybe they can prove it.
Just need a lot of ayahuasca.
No, I mean,
drugs.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, even to like, I mean, I guess you can like research it, but like, just like reaching parts of the brain and stuff like that. Like, I wonder if there's like, I mean, I don't know, just like a monk out there that's supposedly, like, even just how like Alex is saying his friend was able to master like something where it's like no one even knows about that, or, and to them, like, you know, he knows this and it's something like, I mean, it's awakening, showing that there's something there, but yeah, for who's gonna listen to this guy? Or,
But I think the government researches. I think they research everything.
no, but I don't think it's being taught to people like this. Like you're not going to school and this gland is going down, and yeah, maybe it's true, but it's not being taught, and maybe they know about it.
Yeah, because if it's taught, it'll probably lead to more questions, and they probably won't have the power they have over us, I guess.
I'm just saying, like straying us from God more, like that.
I think there's a monk out there that has mastered all these techniques, but he's just like, just mind. Like he doesn't want to give it to
He's
anybody.
gatekeeping it.
He's gatekeeping.
Oh shit.
Man, but a lot of the monks, I mean, yeah, a lot of those people are fake too.
Or,
Like that-
yeah, I'm just saying, like someone, like even like me, like just with my story, like yeah, I don't like. How do you can't. Like, no, you can't go off that. Like, oh, okay, he did see a ghost, so. I mean, obviously, I hope you guys believe me, but like,
I don't know, man. Like, it's been.
yeah, like, well, like it doesn't prove anything.
Yeah, I get you.
Just even like
You are kind of a liar.
all the videos like with aliens or people who say, like, yeah, it's just so hard to believe. It would like, I don't know, humans would have to kind of come together, or just so hard to prove. I don't know.
Unless they're trying to like make everyone think, oh, there's a something out there that could be a threat to every human, so like to make the world government.
That's where they say this is leading, right? That
Is that what they-
project,
One world
I'm
government.
kind of for a one world government.
Amazon.
project.
Amazon, Jeff Bezos will be the supreme world leader. Yeah, I don't see I mean, I could see where like if a dictator would arise, and that would suck. But I mean, I feel like most bad things in civilization come because we have like borders. So it's basically like glorified gangs, like us versus you versus them versus.
Division.
It's very divisive. So I feel like they would be good in a one world government. It would be less like the people in Bangladesh, fuck them, but the people here, oh no, yeah, we gotta watch out for them.
But you don't think the same thing would happen? Just like all these people stay rich, all these people stay poor.
No, yeah, that's
people are gonna
a
starve,
whole
fuck 'em.
classism. Yeah, it's a whole different. That's bad too.
But I mean, even like one world order, I'm sure people could still hold on to grudges just like how they hold on now, and some people will love the peace just how they don't care if you're Chinese, North Korean, or someone just has a different moral.
Yeah, for sure, right? People are still sexist and racist even with their own, fellow countrymen or whatever. So, yeah.
Do you think someone like runs the world? Like not one person, but like a family or like a clan or.
I think there's some that have a lot of influence for sure, but I don't know if they run there's like a shadow
Like
government
the
or
richest people, 1%. Do you
Like-
think they run the world or?
I could definitely see like big influences, but yeah, I don't know if it, like how like yeah, I'm sure like maybe like they could influence like COVID, like okay, we're gonna do this. Like I could see that totally being man-made, but I don't think it's like Michael's gonna get in an accident today. You know,
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. I mean, maybe it is though. Like they can control something.
Like they have the
that.
power to like push agendas, like
Yeah, I
I,
could
I
see
think
that.
there's people above all law.
all law.
All law. Like they're above. I mean, they don't really need to be in the government because they don't care to be. But if they need something done, they get it done. Which makes them. I mean, so it's not. They're not really a shadow government where they're running things, but they can make things move the way they did. Like I guess they do put people in place, or they
They have so much influence.
they have so much influence that who's running everything and you're happy with them running it. And yeah, when you need something done, they'll do it for you. So I mean,
Like puppets.
yeah, like puppets.
Like
I
Biden?
guess. Oh yeah, I mean, even just like our system. I mean, you can tell a president doesn't really have the power
Yeah.
that people think he does. It's more.
Biden looks like the perfect vessel to like.
And the fact that they're doing that to us, I think that they have like no respect for Americans by
Like
showing
it just
us,
shows like they just keep like
making it
throwing
These
it in our
dumbasses aren't gonna
faces.
fucking like.
yeah, we can make this so ridiculous and people will still believe it, or people still like nobody's questioning that this guy. Like who was one that was on the other day? Remember I sent you the picture and it was just some old guy.
Like a congressman or something
Yeah, it was,
like that.
who was it?
Senate or
Is it McConnell?
McConnell, Mitch McConnell, what's his name?
Mitch
Oh,
McConnell.
like when he got frozen, like
Right, like
What the fuck was
practically
that?
just
drooling. Right?
whatever happened. They said he had like a seizure, no, like something like that.
Oh, I don't know.
Ah, dude's old as fuck. I saw one the other day on the news where, one of like the top people in Congress, some lady. She's old. She looks like she's
Fucking corpse.
She looks like a corpse in Night of the Living Dead. And it was on the news that she's giving like her power of attorney for certain, I don't know what exactly that entails, to her daughter, which was like a young politician. But she's still going to stay in Congress and make decisions for the rest of us. Like, she can't even make decisions for herself. And she's going to make decisions for the rest of us.
Yeah, and just the fact that they put stories like that out there and people don't question them. like Biden, he'll walk up and he shakes the hand of the wrong person, and
He
he's
falls
just,
a little bit.
It's like, and you expect us to believe?
Yeah, and I think all like the voting and all these
The parties. In
the
general.
parties, that just splits people from questioning, and they just want to blame it on the other party. Or
It's like they almost realize people hate Trump so bad we could put a moron in there and have him do all this stupid stuff, and people will still love him because he's not Trump.
Yeah, there's people that get mad when you criticize Biden because they're like, they take it as like, oh, so you're for Trump, you're a racist, you're this, and it's
You're
like,
Republican.
it's like, no, I could think both of them are stupid. Like, no, that's not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
Like, it goes into that video of Kamala Harris or something where she's like, yeah, don't ask him anything. Like, just give me all the questions.
Yeah, it's like a behind the scene.
yeah, they're definitely testing us.
Not testing. Well, I don't know.
Or yeah, not testing, just like,
It's like, hey, watch this.
yeah, just like it almost seems so stupid, or and just how no one questions it just really makes me question how, man, like just seeing people like out in the world, like I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know who I am to judge these other people, but like, fuck, like how are you like just even like the people like with the COVID mask, like what world are you living in to still be scared of this? Or and it
You
just
make
kind
it
of
this
makes
far in life.
and it just makes me think like, yeah, if these people are still gonna be out there, like, yeah, nothing's ever gonna get done or get questioned. Like it's really gonna need to take a lot of people to come together to really make an influence. And yeah, I just don't see that happening. And
Like, could we overthrow the government if we all like came together, or do you think it's kind of like inevitable? There's too much division.
I think we could, but yeah, it'd be hard. I mean, there's a
I mean, there's more
What's
people
hard?
than
there's like a coup d'etat going on right now, right? In like is it Nigeria? Or
Oh yeah.
in one of those countries I think it's in Africa, like they think the government's about to be overthrown by the people. There's like a bunch of people getting together, like
and even like when all those people invaded the White House, like it ended up being like people that were hired. Like it just shows how
the cops are opening the doors for them.
like I don't get it.
And then what they did was just stupid. Chiva, the guy dressed like a Viking, and right, wasn't he? Just
Anyway, what do you do? Right, that someone got on like Pelosi's desk and put his feet up. Like, what are you doing? What the fuck? Like,
yeah, I'm overthrowing the government.
I would have gone into the Oval Office and rubbed one out real quick. Yeah.
Oh, that was that cocaine that they found in the.
Nah. Silly me. I would have looked at John F. Kennedy's portrait like. You think AI is gonna take over the world?
Oof. Like it can become like self-aware, like, or what do you mean,
Like Ultron.
like it's gonna take over like people's jobs, like type of thing, or what do you mean?
Oh yeah, I guess either one. Like you think,
Either one.
you think AI could become conscious?
I mean, that's a pretty cool concept, but like, I mean, it could, but I don't know if it could overthrow like people, you know, like in Terminator. Have you seen Terminator? Become self-aware and it shoots a rocket to us. Like, I don't know, maybe it could happen, but
And it nukes all the Twinkie and Coca-Cola factories and the world ends.
yeah, I don't think computers will ever do that.
Like it's not even possible.
I think maybe it could happen, but I definitely see like
Not to
it
that
taking
extent.
over jobs
Oh,
like
yeah.
soon.
No, it's already happening.
Yeah, just like all the stores and even how they're saying like the trucks. Man, like when I was in Austin, like I see those cars like 24/7, the non-driving cars, like the self. And yeah, people are just like riding in the back. Like,
that's
And
kind of
there's
scary.
no one in the
honestly,
driver's seat
yeah.
at all.
yeah, no one in the driver's seat, and they're just driving.
You don't make that little sticky bomb and run up to it when you see it and throw it like the movie,
Like Molotov it or what?
right? You have to Molotov those things.
Or what if like, because I'm assuming it like it can. Toad, can you get that for us, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Toad.
Toad House of Sex. How can I help you?
Like I mean, I guess like those AI cars must be like sensing the environment and to knowing where to turn and where to stop, right? So what if I like I get in front of it, like if I'm gonna like You think it'll
Like, is it gonna react fast?
Yeah,
and
is it
that?
gonna react to me being like, oh, like, I wonder what it would do.
Well, it's weird too. Like I know Teslas are like self-driving, but yeah, there's a bunch of videos like that where like almost like it won't be like someone sitting in front, but they'll throw like a ball, and then the little kid will, or like a fake little kid, and yeah, will fucking run it over.
I mean, but running over like a human would, like there's no time to react, because I'm sure the reaction of the car is better than a human.
I just
like
remember seeing, and I don't know how real that video was, but yeah, it slowed down like after it hit it, but yeah, it totally like hit it.
Yeah,
And it was going fast.
The car's
too.
still gonna have. Like, there's no way it could just stop instantly. It's still gonna have to like.
But I think it'll have better reactions than humans.
I would think so. Right?
But like, what if it malfunctions? Like, do you think computers are perfect? Like, we're gonna have like a little malfunction, and then you're fucked. You know?
No, people malfunction too, right?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
But computers more.
Especially the ones around here.
Or yeah, like I even wonder like if well, maybe a deer, but maybe even like a bird or something. Like if a bird flies in front of it on the highway, like, is it running through the bird? Is it slowing down? Or
Yeah,
like I'm sure the bird's going so quick that it's not gonna, like it will maybe react and it will stop, but
But what if there's like an internet outage and like they can't run anymore? You know, like, does it run on internet? Like,
That's a good one.
like
I
if
think
you
they
if you
do, right?
unplug it, like, will it still work?
Like your phone, if you put your phone on a map and you're trying to get somewhere, and then the internet goes out.
It'll kind of like store it, right, and like kind of still keep.
yeah, I think that's how it works. Like it kind of like downloads it to your phone as where you're going.
And you won't be right, and it'll get you there, right?
I mean, to a certain, I'm sure like if the like if you continuously get to another place that has internet, but maybe if you just go out like into the middle of the ocean and just keep going, I don't know if it would ever. I'm sure it only loads
No,
so
so
far.
so self-driving car. As soon as you plug in the location, it puts it like on its hard drive, and it'll get you there, right? Like it's not going to run out of internet and then be lost.
Yeah,
Mid.
Yeah, I'm sure
mid-drive.
they covered it somehow. Or
Yeah, and plus they learn. Like you're saying, if a bird or something, I'm sure they realize what you brake for and what you don't. But like if the cameras, like if everything's working, I think it should be better than a human.
there wouldn't be like that human error.
Yeah, there won't be no human error.
Maybe like a calculator.
But I don't think the car would ever realize like,
Become
oh, I wish
self-aware.
I was blue.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm a car.
Or I want to go to Starbucks and choose location. You know?
Yeah, it'll never think that.
Who's
Like,
telling me where to go?
I don't think these cars will, but I think it's possible. I think there could be a car built that goes, oh shit,
I wish I was red.
I wish I was red.
No, I see. No, I don't think so.
Do you think any other animals could ever, like, do you think in the future chimps and other apes will be able to, like, question and ponder?
No, I don't think so.
You think they already do, and there's just no way of knowing?
Yeah, I think they're at their max, maybe. I mean, I can see some being smarter and, some come along, but yeah, no chimp would ever be like a super chimp or like close to human. Like, yeah, it'll be the smartest chimp.
What if it eats like a mushroom? And, like, oh, it becomes smart or something.
Some people swear that's what happened to you.
Yeah, right. The stoned ape theory. What do you guys think about like the metaverse?
Like the whole like buying land on the metaverse, like all that.
Yeah,
stuff?
like we were working online and like from home. You never go outside, you become fat.
I think it's just another form of technology, just like how the iPad was. How maybe that's like your metaverse, your little home screen. That's it's just kind of like to a bigger extent.
It's the next step in human evolution. Like, you just become like this blob that just sits at home and you
Fucking
just have the technology to do everything.
There's Wally, right? The people in
Yeah,
Wall-E.
like Wally.
Yeah, Disneyland was full of Wally
Oh,
characters.
You see a lot of Wallies over there? Little Wally people.
Wally
the,
people.
like the people that look like they can't stand up on their own and they're just in that. Man, there was one of those and she had, I swear, like 6 churros in her hand. And
Damn.
I was like, maybe it's time to cut back on the churros.
Like, 5 wasn't enough. Like, no, I need
But
6.
I don't know if she was
right?
getting it for her family. I don't want to be the one.
No.
But, yeah, it was one of those where I was like, fuck, like you're just indulging in it or just don't give a fuck anymore.
6 churros.
And yeah, it was one of those where, like it looked like they could not like walk by themselves, like almost needed a wheelchair. Or, yeah, like
That's
one
funny
of
because
those.
I had that thought the other day. Is like I was raised a certain way, like like if my dad got sweet bread, everybody ate one, or like if they got ice cream, you eat one ice cream bar, and then I meet other friends and I see them eating, and it's like I know people that eat like 6 donuts in one sitting. So I was like, wow, I was never raised like that, or I have that self-control. Like I can do one kind of. If I'm gonna do Coke, I'll get one kind of Coke. I'll never sit there and just bust open can.
And you think maybe because you're growing up with 7 siblings, and I'm sure your mom's not like, okay, everyone can have 3 pieces of cake. Like, yeah, there's only 8 pieces of cake, one for every child.
Yeah, exactly. But
Where a
also, I
single-
mean,
Maybe like a single kid is gaming in his room and he goes and checks the fridge and there's 13 Cokes in there.
yeah,
He's
but
the only
I'm
one that
saying
drinks.
even then you think they'd be regulated. And even just, I remember going to friends' houses when they first moved out, and it's like, oh, for lunch all I eat is chips, and it's like, man, I think I need a meal. Like if it's time to eat, I eat a meal. Like I'm not chips, Jolly Ranchers, and a Coke or Gatorade. That's not a meal. Like I need food, but yet some people.
I think that's just like, bad parenting almost. Like I've had cousins where like you'll leave them alone. Like no one's in the room giving them food. Like they go out on their own, get the food, and then come back. And yeah, you go into the room and there's like 20 candy bar bags, and they look all like, ugh, and like, it's not like they're like, here, eat it. But I think it's just one of those things where you indulge in it, and a parent needs to see that and put a stop to that, or else you're just gonna grow that bad habit.
Yeah, but I always thought that was funny. Like, and if I'm going to the store, I need eggs. I need real food.
Go
not
straight to the chips aisle and
chips, ice cream.
man, if it was like cool with my body, I would do that. But yeah, like I said, like I need a meal, I need this. But if I could just eat chips and
Like
ice
if
cream and soda all
Only
day.
chips were the equivalent of broccoli.
Yeah, and I was like the world's fittest man because of it. Oh hell yeah!
I mean, yeah, I wish that too. Like I wish,
A burger.
but I know
made you-
better. Like, yeah, I can't
exactly.
be going and eating McDonald's every day or lunch. Right, McDonald's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I think it's just one of those things. If you know better or don't.
Maybe you just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some people don't give a fuck. Yeah, they don't give a fuck. Like if you order 6 churros for yourself, it's like,
Bite them all at the same time.
yes, we can all eat that, but we have self-control. Like,
Discipline.
But yeah, I think it's just like almost like addiction too,
it's a form of addiction.
Like yeah, obviously you know not to go smoke 3 bowls of crack, where someone like fuck, like I'm just hooked. I mean, they know it's wrong, but they just can't stop smoking that crack.
It's a good breakfast right there. An egg McMuffin and 3 bowls of crackers.
You're wired up, bro.
Or like even like porn, something like that too. Like they're saying like kids nowadays are having like it's fucking them up, no? Because they have like,
They're all incels now.
or like
Bunch
they
of
just have
incel
like
kids.
porn access on their phone. I don't know, I
Yeah,
saw
back
a
then you
little
had to
article.
work for your porn, huh? It wasn't.
Somebody would steal their Playboy from their dad.
Oh,
in
yeah.
school, and like, it was like the holy, like at lunchtime, Santo's got a Playboy. We're all meeting over here. And like,
Yeah.
Now you open Instagram and there's bitches, there's bad shit, like.
yeah, there's no working for it, right? It's too easy.
I think it's just as
easy.
life progresses, things change, and
Things become easier.
that
but
generation, that's
And
all they
it's-
know,
And it's wiring them different.
and it's not
I
their
feel like it
fault.
makes people more lazy. Like the DoorDash. I'm just gonna DoorDash food. I'm just gonna I won't go touch grass, like.
Yeah, everything's just becoming more convenient.
But it makes people lazy. You get me? People don't know the value of working for things. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we stopped using DoorDash, and my phone keeps texting me like, DoorDash misses you.
Yeah.
$3 off your next 6 churros.
Man, like even I mean like I'm just as bad or I mean like guilty, but like what the fuck did we do before phones? Like just even like driving like
More
like, did I-
conversation.
yeah, more conversation. Was I just looking out the window? Like now, like I'll be with my friends or something like that, and they'll be on their phone, and then it's like, oh man, what do we do without our phones? Like, how would we pass the time? But yeah, that's all these kids know nowadays. So it's
That was terrible, man. I remember having to jack off to my imagination like a fucking
Your
peasant. Like,
imagination.
oh god, like, that sucks.